Welcome to MMA Oddsbreaker, ladies and gentlemen. Frank Trigg, Alan Belcher. Alan, I read a report today that said somehow you and Michael Bisping, who you're fighting here,
Right.
you two found a way to stay relevant later in your careers, where both of you have kind of reached the top, and right when you're about to break over the top of the mountain, that next hump, you both lose.
Right.
Which we've seen happen with Bisping. Every time he gets rated to that number one contender spot, he gets crushed.
Right.
This, to me, your fight's another number one contender spot. Like, who else are going to have, you guys are going to rate in the hunt after this fight.
Yeah, that's right.
How hungry do you think Bisping's going to be coming at you in comparison to everything else?
He's going to want it bad. He wants it bad every time. He has a lot of heart. He's going to try very hard. But, no matter how hard he tries, it's not going to stop him from going down whenever I hit him.
What's different about Bisping that is different from any other fighter that you faced?
I think that most fighters will at some point I could break them mentally or overwhelm them. And I know going into this that that's Bisping's best attribute, where his skills may not be equivalent to other fighters or even mine. He's a hard worker, and he's going to set a heck of a pace. So I know he's not going to go away. So a lot of the mental tactics inside the cage aren't going to work as much. So to put Bisping away, it's either by decision, worst case scenario, or by trying to break something on him and he has to tap, or knocking him out. I know he's not going to go away, so I have to finish him.
Well, here's the thing that I see with you two, and feel free to yell at me and scream at me and tell me I'm wrong. But
All right.
I think that he's got the better takedown defense versus your takedown offense, so he's going to keep it on the feet better.
Yeah.
He hits harder on the feet, but I think you're more technical, like you said. But he's also one of those guys. You said he has a plastic chin, but I see him being able to walk through a couple of your punches to kind of hit you hard more than a couple times. You're way better off your back than he is. Like it's not day and night. It's not even. We're talking a white belt versus a black belt kind of mentality when it comes to MMA jits game from you on back and him on top. But I don't see him ever wanting to put you on the ground. If that comes true, where do you see this fight playing out then, and how you plan on winning it besides grabbing a hold of an arm and breaking it off, or cutting him with some ground and pound and cutting him from the bottom?
Well, I think that on the feet, the way that he beats me is moving around and scoring points and just outworking me. So I think that I can land hard shots and make the difference. I feel like I can walk through his punches, and I don't think that he's going to hurt me there. And I do believe that he will try to take me down. Will I be able to beat him off my back? I mean, on your back's not a good place to be in MMA, no matter how good you are.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that if he doesn't take me down, I don't want to take him down. So I'm not even worried about that. I'm thinking about knocking him out on the feet. And stopping any kind of attempts that he has. So I've rarely went for takedowns. I went for a few takedowns. I've got a few takedowns in the UFC, but I like to put pressure on people and make them shoot on me, and I don't plan on doing anything different with Bisping. I believe that he goes for takedowns to try to make you tired and try to win the round. So if he can't get me down, then he's going to have to win the round by being on the feet. And I think the longer that we are on the feet, the more chance that I'll have of landing that one shot that's gonna hurt him. And I don't think that he has it in me or in him to hurt me with anything that he possesses as far as striking.
Now it sounds like you're kind of relying on that one punch knockout power because we've seen it happen with Bisping. When he gets hit clean, he falls down. Like there's no doubt about it.
Right.
I wouldn't say it's a plastic chin because when he does get caught, Henderson cracked him. He thought he was shooting. He dropped his hands, was looking down, looking for the shot, and got cracked in the face, and that put anybody out. And then of course we saw Henderson jump on him and smack him again when he was unconscious. But it's riding on that one punch knockout power with a guy like Michael Bisping. Most guys, it doesn't bode well. It's not a very smart tactic. But for you, it's like the best tactic it's the best game plan going in for a guy like Michael Bisping? Is this something that you and Rich Clemente sat down and said, "This is how I'm going to come after it," or is it just something that's natural the way that you fight and how you want to do things?
Um, no, I mean, the first thing I thought in this fight was I have to increase my punches, increase my kicks, and not let out Michael Bisping outwork me. I know that that's what he's going to try to do, and if that's what I would do too if I was fighting myself. I've been lazy at times in the past, but I've never wanted to win as bad as I do now. So I plan on going forward and working the whole time. I'm not counting on a knockout punch, although I believe that I'll get it and it's going to come. But I know how to make a knockout happen. If you try for the knockout too hard and you set your feet, you get taken down or you're head hunting or whatever. So, I mean, I got a lot of tricks up my sleeve. I think on the feet, I'm going to track him down. I'm going to hunt him, and I'm going to hit him hard over and over and over again. Not just one knockout. The knockout will come.
Now, is Rich Clemente been a part of your camp the entire time?
Yeah, he has.
And how important was it to have a guy like Rich who's been in big shows? He's one of the best 55-pounders out there. He just recently retired. How important was it to have a guy like that running your camp and telling you from full experience of what needs to go on and what needs to happen?
It was good. It's definitely. I've worked with Rich on and off throughout the years, but he definitely has a good idea of how to play the game and how to fight, and he knows how to win rounds. He knows what fighters are doing to win rounds. So me and him both have a really good idea of what's going through Bisping's head, what his weaknesses are, what his strengths are, and what he really has to do to win the round. And I think that I've got all my bases covered. Mm-hmm. And it's all about pushing the pace in this fight, fighting hard, and just having a lot of heart. I mean, I know the guy wants it bad. He does not want to lose, and neither do I. Neither one of us have lost 2 in a row. It's kind of like our back is on the fence here. Not that we're going to go down to the minor leagues or anything, but we're going to lose that top status. We're both close. We both lost to top guys last time, so either one of us can be right back in there. It's a matter of who sticks with their plan the best, whose plan works the best.
What's different about this training camp than any other training camp? Like, what have you done differently? Is it different techniques, different, you said earlier, punch rate and kick rate. Is your cardio better? Other than the punch rate and kick rate, what have you done differently in this camp?
Well, I've trained a lot harder than I have in my last fights because the main thing, if I could explain it, is whenever I was younger, I trained my ass off all the time, every day, and I overtrained every single time. I made myself sick, and I didn't know any better. I didn't know how to diet and all this. And as I got older, I got more skills. I learned more about strength and conditioning. I learned more about diet. And as my education increased, and I was able to coach myself better and take care of myself better, I was more efficient. So the grind and the grit and the heart and everything kind of started sneaking out the back door just a little bit until I reached my peak with my last fight, where I felt like I was very skilled and I knew how to play the game, but I just didn't put that extra effort into training. I was a little bit overconfident. So in this one, it's kind of like first time it's all together. Like my ground, all my grappling, all my striking is really on point right now. All the way that I plan my camp, plan my workouts, the way that I listen to my body, the way that I eat is all on point. So right now, I'm starting to get that kind of spirit, that fighter spirit back that I haven't had since I was trying to make it into the UFC and first, trying to win my first fight into the UFC. You know the feeling when it's just all you think about day and night, and you kind of lose that over the years. And for me to stay in the game right now, I had to figure out a way to get that back.
Oh, okay. Now you said earlier that you at times you've been lazy. When was the last time that you fought and you felt like at the end of it you're like, wow, I was kind of lazy for that training camp?
I mean, honestly, my last 3 fights, since I've came back, my comeback fight against McDonald, and then my fight against Palhares, I really surprised myself in those fights. I was in that, and that's kind of what gave me the overconfidence to train differently. I really took more days off. I let my body heal up a lot more, and I was like, man, this really works. When I got in there, I just blew him away in the first round. But I don't know what would have happened in the second and third. And I think in the Okami fight, I just went to the extreme of recovery, recuperation. Don't overtrain, and I was just a little bit too extreme with it. Like, oh, I know what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm gonna take 10 days off before the fight and not hardly do anything. I was training once a day. I was like, I don't believe in training two times a day anymore. But you go through cycles where you believe one thing, you believe another thing, and your mind changes. And right now, I'm dialed in with everything, with my body and with my training. And the hard training is more about mental than getting yourself physically ready. And that's what I was missing in my last fight.
Rich Clemente and I is how we got connected for this interview. And I talked to Rich a little bit. I got to hang out with him when I was down in New Orleans shooting a show. And I worked out with him like 8 or 9 times. And I didn't realize how smart Rich really is about the overall game plan of putting a game together and understanding how to prepare for a training camp and all that stuff. Now, most guys, you and myself included, we can do it for somebody else, but then trying to do it for ourselves becomes very difficult. And Rich explained to me, too, that he's like, you not only is your grappling and your striking and your cardio and your strength all dialed in at the same time and peaking at the right proper moment, but you're motivated to be in practice every day. You're motivated to be there on time. You're motivated to stay through the entire practices. And he said it's something more than just going, oh, hey, look, this is a #1 contendership fight, or potential to be the next guy in line to get a battle at the title. You kind of approach this more of, he said, at least, is what Rich is saying. He said you approach this more of, this is really the life choice that I've made. This is who I want to be, and I want to show everybody who I can be. So I'm doing it every day. Like now you're doing it every day again. That snap and that fires back, and he said it shows up every day in practice. How hard is it on those days when you want to stay home and watch a movie? When you want to stay home and stay in bed, when you know you got to be up in a couple minutes to go to practice? What's that last thing in your head to get you out of bed, to make you go, like Rich is saying?
Right now, my motivation is basically my legacy. This is my last chance. It's either do it right now, or lose this fight and be done forever. So how do you want to leave this? Do you want to leave a champion or giving your best shot, or do you just want to lay down and say, oh, I fought some good fights in the UFC. I tapped some people, I took some people down, I knocked some people out, I fought some great wars. Forget that, man. This is my legacy. This is what people are going to remember me by, and it's not over. It's not over yet. I have a lot of good years left in me, and this is what I leave to my kids. This is my business. This is how I provide for my family, and Michael Bisping isn't going to take that away from me.
What's your weight going to be like the morning of weigh-ins?
The morning of weigh-ins?
Yep.
Hopefully as low as possible.
What's normal? What's normal for you?
Well, that's something that's inconsistent with me. Over the years, I got heavier and heavier and heavier until I realized, man, I'm just getting bigger. I'm just getting bigger and fatter. I just every fight or every so often, I'm just adding a little bit more fat that I couldn't take off last time. And it's not water weight. It's not that you're not able to just go from 220 or 215 within a couple weeks down to the low 200s and cut weight. It's like you're gonna have to do this right. So, actually, my last fight, I was really focused on my weight cut because the one before that was like it was terrible. Mm-hmm. It was a nightmare, and I was like, I can't do this again. I'm gonna die or something. And I was seriously scared. So I started watching my weight and just controlled my weight the whole time. It's the lowest that I've been in probably 5 or 6 years at least. I got down to 200 pounds and cut from 200 pounds the last couple days and cut from there. So this time I've been training really hard. So I've been eating, doing what I need to do to recover. I've been training really hard. I'm more focused on having energy for training this time than my weight. So I'm kind of in the middle because I didn't let myself get too as high as I got was about 212, which is great for me. And So I'm not going to be quite as low as I was, but I'll probably come in 203, 204 and cut from there.
Okay, that's not too bad. Try to make 85. That's actually right within the wheelhouse. That's smart, and it's easy to recover from a weight like that. Well, a lot of guys are coming in 205, 210, trying to make it down to 85, and they can't recover. They're only weighing about 200. Come fight day, and that's 15 pounds lighter than they should be. There's no function. They can't get through the rounds. You're going to come in about 203, 205. You're going to weigh about 203, 205 come fight night, which is right back and fully hydrated and fully ready to go. Do you see that your size and your speed and your strength is also going to be a factor against Bisping because you are a little bit bigger than Bisping, frame wise?
I think so. The clinch is bound to happen because when I go forward, if he goes backwards, he's running, and if he goes forward, we're going to clash. So we're gonna clinch, and I believe I'll be able to move him around and wear him down with my size. So I think I'll be able to hold him. I'll be able to push him against the fence, move him around, and I don't know if he's fought someone and grappled someone of my size, besides Chill. I mean, I realized that him and Chill had a nice fight, but Chill whipped his ass the first and the third round, and took him down and everything. I just think in the clinch, my size probably will make a difference. You already know how I feel about my power.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got the edge in the power. So, yeah, it'll make a difference.
All right, last thing before I let you out of here. Chael and Jones. I think that fight's going to break down.
Man, it's really embarrassing, man. The way that Chael and Jones, everyone thought it was going to be a great battle of smack talk back and forth. And Chael kind of came in. I think he took a look at Jones like, dang, this dude's big and athletic. Hey, this is a nice guy. He's really the greatest guy I ever met. And everyone's so disappointed. And then now the last minute, Chael's trying to say, throw out a couple tweets and say a couple bad things. And on live TV the other day with Dana White, I could just tell John Jones is ready to take his head off. And Chael is still in promotion mode.
Yeah.
And I just don't see it going very well for him.
First or second round, do you think he's going to get finished? I know, right? You never can tell with Chael. He might survive. He might pull it off and win the whole thing by taking him down and sitting on top of him, but like he did with Anderson his first time. Or he could try to spinning back elbow again, like he did with Anderson the second time, and get punched in the face and be done. I mean, you don't know what you're getting.
Yeah, Chael's infamous for finding a way to lose.
Yeah.
So in this fight, he probably won't have to look very hard. That's my bet.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I think, Alan, you and I agree on that one. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Alan Belcher. Thanks for coming out with MMA Oddsbreaker. Good luck in your fight. And I, unfortunately, will be in New York City till Thursday. Then I got to go home, so I won't be there for the entire event. But I'm definitely gonna be watching at home on TV like everybody else.
All right, sounds good, Frank. Thanks for having me on, buddy.
Got it, man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye.